time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, call so you spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stacks. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
Here we go. Happy Thursday. It is a KVJ Show. Got another festive day going on here. Gabriel, I know you took on that challenge that you're going to have a different Christmassy type of costume every single day up until the holiday. And I mean, you're delivering every day.
Oh, this old thing?
Yeah. I mean, that is very elaborate. Look at the coat on that thing. That is an elaborate green elf coat that goes all the way down to the knees. It's got embroidery on it. It's got white fuzzy cuffs and collar. That's impressive stuff.
And it's perfect for this colder weather.
I walked my dog, Chewy, in this today, and a couple of people walked by. You get looks when you wear an elf outfit this early in the morning.
Look, elves are grinding. If people can't accept it, that's on them.
Honestly, at that point, if I saw that big one, maybe it's a real elf. I don't know.
Well, yesterday I had my Santa outfit on, and I walked Chewy immediately when I got home. Same thing. Cars were stopping, beeping. People love seeing a guy dressed, festive during the holiday season.
People like to see people go for it.
Yes.
And you go for it. That's what you're doing.
You're bringing joy, damn it.
Yeah.
That's the goal. I don't know if I'm always bringing joy. Read some of the emails.
Okay.
I stopped.
Well, again, if you'd like to see Jaybird's daily fancy elf decor, you can check it out on KVJ TV. Dial us up on your YouTube. Just look for the KVJ Show, and there he is.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in just a second, has Nicolas Cage lost his mind? What the heck's going on?
I think he lost a long time ago.
I'll let you hear a clip, and I don't know if this is him promoting his new show on Netflix.
It's a trailer for his new show, and it's very bizarre.
All right, I'll give you some insight. Maybe he's not losing his mind, but maybe he is. We'll explore coming up. Before we get into that, Larry King is doing his whole divorce settlement, and I love seeing the juicy details of what people have to pay each other when they split up and divide the assets. He has just agreed to pay his former wife, Shawn, $20,000 in a lump sum. Plus, she'll get $33,000 a month for spousal support. Wow.
He's been married 8 times. Wow. What are you thinking, King?
Why would you keep getting married and keep giving these women all this money?
I mean, after 5 times you go, all right, I don't know if this marriage thing, if I'm any good at it.
After 2 times, you should have gone, not for me.
8 times.
Wow. Yeah, so he's just giving her $53,000 this month, and then $33,000 a month going on for a while.
Something's wrong with you, right? If you get married 8 times, there's something going on there.
I think you're an idiot. If you have this much money, come on, protect your assets. She, by the way, it's so funny. She said that all this money is only going to cover 1/3 of her expenses.
1/3?
Yeah, she's thinking it's not very fair what the court has decided.
Well, maybe you need to do some rebudgeting in your life. Sorry.
These people are insane.
All of them are insane. Everybody you cover in the dirt is insane.
Yeah. Every now and then, we got to make adjustments. It's a pandemic. People have been making adjustments.
Speaking of insane, okay, here's Nicolas Cage promoting his new show for Netflix. The show is called History of Swear Words.
Okay.
And so in each installment, he's going to examine the usage and origins and cultural impact of the F-bomb.
Okay. Sounds intriguing, actually. Oh.
And it goes on and on.
Oh, wow.
Dramatic readings by Nicolas Cage.
We get it.
And that's what's going on in your dirt.
Do you need more KVJ Show? Find everything KVJ at kvjshow.com.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you think about, Jaybird?
Well, I thought this was pretty cool how this all lined up. Me and Denny's have been talking about pianos, and I've been wanting to buy a piano. Not a keyboard, but, a piano where you can sit down and it's, there's all different kind of prices you can do, with pianos. I was going to buy a cheaper version of one, but I've been really wanting to learn how to play the piano.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of buying this one piano. And then Vicky from Weird and Whatever, I see this post with all this is all within the same 48 hours. She's trying to get rid of this Baldwin piano of her, so I reach out to her.
Baldwin, I think that's like the best, right?
It's a very good piano. Well, long story short, she ends up just giving me the piano.
Wow.
So I'm not buying one, and I want to just say thank you to Vicky. Big shout out for giving me that piano, and now I don't have to buy one.
Are you taking some lessons? Are you getting good?
I'm not good right now. I'm teaching myself how to do it. And Denny's knows some piano too.
Okay.
There's just for anybody who wants to pick up an instrument. Now you don't have to be great at it, but guitar, piano, all that stuff. If you go on YouTube, there's so many wonderful videos, especially for beginners, just to kind of get you, get your feet wet. Because starting is the hardest part of any of that stuff. It's too hard in the beginning and they give up very quickly. These people on YouTube, they have it in a way where they teach you so it's not so overwhelming to where you don't want to quit. That's always the number one thing. People will buy an instrument, the parents will, spend $500 on a guitar, kid does it for 2 weeks and then quits. These videos are designed to keep you enthusiastic with it.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Slow and steady. And I swear to you, especially with guitar, within 6 months, you're able to play a couple songs around the campfire if you so desire.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
Shout out to Vicky. Thank you very much. Very kind of her.
What you got on your mind today, Virginia?
I'm learning about something that I never thought I would really be learning about. So I'm helping somebody who is just currently in a bad place because of the pandemic. They got fired back in April and then subsequently became homeless. So you're talking about like a single mom with an 8-year-old boy. And so I'm trying to help her find a place to live, and we're talking to different people, and I'm seeing stuff. A lot of people posted. I put a post up on Facebook, and I said, hey, does anybody have any ideas for housing? Our budget is $900 a month because she just started working again, and she just doesn't make a lot. And I'm talking to people now that have like all these places on Facebook Marketplace for rent. And so many people are doing this because of the pandemic. They're renting out rooms in their house. They're turning their homes into little mini long-term hotels where if they have a 3-bedroom and they're only using one of the bedrooms, they rent out the other 2 bedrooms. And those 2 individuals that rent the rooms like share a bathroom.
Doing house hunting, I saw at least 4 houses that were renting out a room, or they had rented out a room to supplement their income.
There's so many.
That's fascinating.
Kind of unbelievable. And, because she's got a son, I'm trying to help her find like an efficiency contained unit where she's not sharing a space with other people because you don't know what's going on with other people.
Sure.
You don't want to bring a child into that environment.
Yeah.
You looked into Lake Park at all?
Oh, yeah. That's actually my number one hit spot.
There's a few
Lake
places
Park.
in Lake Park that got some lower income areas. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'm all over Lake Park. We're actually going to be driving all over Lake Park today looking. But I just thought it was fascinating. My eyes were open to this whole thing that's going on out there that I didn't even realize. You can get somebody's room in their house for like $500, $600, $700 a month.
That's pretty fascinating. It's very interesting, the ingenuity that people were taking on, and I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you've got the extra space. I guess the whole thing is just security. You rent it out to some weirdo, and who knows what can happen with
That's
that,
the
but-
scary part. You know, you never really know somebody. Even if you do know somebody and you become roommates with them, a lot of times you guys don't leave that relationship still as friends.
Lower rent, but higher percentage of awkward moments.
Yes.
If you can find a way, though, to secure it where they would need an extra key to get to your area and there is a bit of a separation, would be ideal. But yeah, when you talk about sharing a bathroom, that would be...
Yeah, that was the part that was hard for me to wrap my brain around. Because this one chick, it was her and her husband, and they have a bathroom in the master. But then they have 2 extra bedrooms that they've cleaned out completely.
Yeah.
But those 2 rooms share a Jack and Jill bathroom.
Well, it's one thing to share a bathroom with somebody you know. Like, I know y'all. If we had to share a bathroom...
Then that'd be a challenge.
We could share a hotel room, I believe.
And it still would be a challenge, but I would be okay. I wouldn't be skeeved out because I know you guys.
Right.
I don't want to follow some stranger that just went number 2 in the bathroom. Now I got to take a shower. I'm running late. He went number 2, and I got to take a shower. No.
You got to navigate the schedule of him going number 2 and you taking a shower. And you just met this guy.
Yeah, it'd be awkward.
And he's weird.
That's the tough part of it, though. I think that's the one thing the pandemic is doing through all of this is it's all kind of knocking us off of our safe space and out of our comfort zones to do different things we wouldn't normally do out of necessity.
And just showing me something I never thought about that.
Yeah.
But people are just trying to make it happen. You know, they're just trying to exist and live. And it's very, very eye-opening and makes you be just so grateful if you have a home that you're not sharing with 2 strangers that are weird.
Welcome to 2020, huh?
2020.
2020, man. There you go. What I got on my mind, I finally finished up The Queen's Gambit on Netflix. And it was great. I really loved it. I thought it was good. It wraps up great. I guess basically the best way to put it, it's almost like Rocky with chess.
Okay. Is there going to be a season 2?
I don't know. And you know what? Is it ended? I hoped not.
Because it wrapped up?
I loved it, and I thought it was great. But where do we go from here? To me, it just seems like you know, and you could even argue the same thing almost with Rocky, where he had that pinnacle moment where he comes back and he wins this. It's like, do we really need another Rocky? And yeah, we got another Rocky.
Technically, you really could have wrapped it up after part 1. I'll give you part 2 because he wins the title.
1 and 2 and 3 I thought was inspirational, but did we need 4? Did we need 5?
We didn't need to beat the Russian. We really didn't.
Yeah. Do we need all those? I don't know.
We did because Sly needed cash.
I love those movies, but did we need them?
Yeah, so I haven't really heard about The Queen's Gambit, if they're going to do a follow-up. I think it was based on a book. I don't know if it's a true story. Now I'm going to look, now that I know what the ending is, to see exactly how much of it's based in real life. Was this a real person? Is the story true? How much of it's true?
Yeah, like they had the one Mindhunters, I believe, on Netflix.
Yeah.
And that was really, really good. And it could have gone on, and it was too expensive, and they cut it.
They've done that. Yeah, I'd seen that Netflix, I talked about that one time here on the show. They've got basically a 2-year or kind of a mathematical formula, and people were asking, why are some of these shows, like I think it was Sense8 was one of them, why was that canned? It seemed like it was doing well and it was a cult classic. Netflix has the numbers on how much they spend on production versus how much they get back in viewable hours, and you can't argue with it. It is a black and white hardcore number, and they have the equation. And if anybody of the cast or a director or producer is like, this isn't fair, we're being robbed, be like, math, dude, we're a business, and it just doesn't make business sense.
Mindhunters had a good audience. Even with a good audience, I think the show was too expensive to produce.
Yeah, it was, and that's part of the equation. Yeah, the numbers have to match the production costs to a certain level. And if they don't, then it's just gone. But I think ultimately for Netflix, it's good, even if you have a short run 1-season or 2-season show like Mindhunters or The Queen's Gambit, it gets people to come in because the word of mouth still continues as people say, oh, I watched this show, Queen of Gambit, or whatever it is. Yeah,
Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit, yeah. Queen's Gambit on Netflix, and it was great. So more people keep checking it out. Coming up in an hour, we actually are going to have Netflix be the topic of today's KVJ draft. We're doing Netflix original programming. So who can draft out the 3 best? What would you say would you include on that? And that would include anything from regular series, movies, even documentaries.
I'm going to have to Google this.
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to try to put together the best team of 3. KVJ Draft just after 7:30 here on the KVJ Show. You heard of pandemic hands. Apparently, more and more Americans have them. We'll tell you how you get them next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
I was telling you about The Queen's Gambit. Finally wrapped that up on Netflix. Very good watch. 7 episodes. Very short. My wife and I did it in the span of a week. We did most of it last weekend, and you know, most episodes are 40 minutes to an hour long, so you can knock that out in no time at all. And I finally did look, so I didn't want to do a spoiler on me, and this isn't a spoiler if you're wondering, wow, did this really happen? No, it did not. Apparently, much of the Queen's Gambit was inspired by real-life chess legends and games that took place, despite the main character never actually existing. It's based off of a book from, I think, 1984. So that's what it's all about. But it's still good.
Okay.
Real or not, I still enjoyed the story. I thought it was fantastic. And somebody wanted to let us know that Mindhunter was canceled because of the pandemic. Technically, it's on that indefinite hold as the leads were released from their contracts.
That's not what I heard.
Okay, well, Bird differs in your opinion.
I'm sure what they're saying is true, but I also heard that it was expensive to produce, and they don't know for a fact if it's coming back.
I know that Netflix has broomed some shows that people are like, wait, why would they get rid of that? And I think Sense8 was one that they had named.
It's on hiatus for sure.
Okay. All right, well, there you go. Pandemic hands. Do you have them? I do. Been struggling with them. Kind of had them even before the pandemic, but that would make sense. More and more people are becoming germaphobes, they say, or definitely germ conscious at the very least, which I wouldn't put myself in the phobe part, but I am definitely conscious. 73% of men, 57% of women are saying that 2020 has turned them into a bit of a germaphobe.
Yeah, I have like a thing now that I never had before. If I am in any place other than like my car or my house and I touch anything, like in my head, my mind is like, your hands are dirty, dirty, dirty.
Yeah.
And I won't touch my face. And then I won't touch anything until I can put hand sanitizer on. But I never used to be like that. And it's not even a choice anymore. It's just happening.
Yeah, I guess according to the environment we're in, that's proper conditioning, and that's the way that you should handle it. But having to be that aware of what you touch and how you spread germs, you do have to definitely be germ conscious. So in a way, it's good, but the amount that we're washing our hands is tough. And I have to now, I'm up in the hand cream, and I've used a full-powered eczema type stuff. Because, yeah, my hands, they have aged about 10 years.
Dang.
In just 2020, I'm looking down like, oh, I'm getting old man hands. Because if you're anywhere close to the average, 10 times a day you wash your hands and you're using hand sanitizer 8 times. So almost 20 times a day you're hitting up your hands to get rid of germs, but every time you do, you're removing or killing the oils and things like that to keep your hands soft.
Yeah, I'm looking at my hands right now, and they resemble the hands of an 85-year-old woman. I got grandma hands.
Granny hands,
I got granny hands.
Yeah.
Damn, Granny was hairy on them knuckles.
Well, we're Italian.
Yeah, so they call it pandemic hands, and a lot of people are getting them for that reason. So it's kind of a weird thing where it's like, okay, good for you for washing your hands like that, but
they're gonna look old and crusty.
I guess it's what you do. It's what you do.
Don't they say that same thing about your hair? You shouldn't wash your hair all the time because it takes out all the natural oils, or is that backwards?
I think it depends on how your hair is set up. Some people, my sister has to wash her hair every day. Otherwise, it gets too oily for her. But like me, I can go every other day or even every third day.
Depends upon how oily of a person you are. I dry out. I always have problems with, I get dry fast.
Is your hair the same way?
I can go a couple days, yeah.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, that's how I roll. Because, yeah, if I shower, and I was doing that for a while, and I'm dry now. So I get really dried out if I wash and shower too much.
It's almost like you have that lizard's disease. My mom had that lizard's disease.
Yeah, I had that.
Lizard's disease.
Yeah, it is.
That's what she'd call it. She's like, oh, I'm looking scaly like a lizard.
Yeah, it's eczema. I do hand cream for that. So you got to be aware of that kind of stuff because, yeah, you dry out super fast. And so, if I'm telling you my hands have aged 10 years, imagine if I were disinfecting and washing that much with my whole body. I would look like I'm 70.
Right?
If you do that to your face.
And everything else, yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of the conundrum. Trying to stay clean and not smelly and also not drying yourself out. So it's a fine balance.
Dang, grandma hands.
Grandma hands. And if you look, without a doubt, coronavirus has definitely occupied a lot of our mental space in 2020, but there is something that actually beat it according to Google search research. What do you think actually beat the coronavirus?
Bird.
Yeah.
The election.
The election. Yeah, election results was number 1. Coronavirus is number 2. What else would you say would be near the top if you had to guess? Big things in 2020. Trying to reflect back because those two things were so consuming of all of your mental power.
Probably like George Floyd, right?
Yeah, that would.
Amazingly, I did not see that. At least what Google listed in their top 10 searches.
What about like a big movie that came out at some point? There was hype around. Mandalorian, is that in there?
No, it is not in there. Not even for TV shows. It's not in the top 5, at least on Google searches.
Let's think here. There's something with sports.
Okay.
You're
warming up.
Okay.
You're warming up.
Oh, boxing? The Tyson?
No.
The basketball bubble.
You're warming up, but that's not it.
Michael Jordan?
I'm talking pre-pandemic, but in the year 2020.
Oh, Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, no. Virginia's close with basketball. You're right there with sports. Pre-pandemic, right at the beginning of the year. What would be number 3 on the list of Google searches?
March Madness?
The All-Star Game?
There was a death.
Oh, Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant, number 3.
We would have been here for a very long time.
Really?
Thank you for helping
I was
us.
thinking not sad stories. I was thinking something,
Okay.
LeBron scored 100 points or something.
It is kind of crazy looking back, though, that those 3 things. I guess, that does make sense. Maybe 3 of the big things. The George Floyd does really surprise me because that was such a huge movement that happened. Everything Black Lives Matter, don't see that in the top 10, but they did have different categories. They had regular searches. This is just kind of like the general. So you also had some other deaths. Naya Rivera, number 5. Chadwick Boseman, number 6.
Is the shortage and the worry of the shortage of ketchup on that list?
Ketchup didn't make it, but there was a search for TP. Like, where can I find? Yeah, that was on one of the lists that they had. PlayStation 5 made it in at number 7 for top Google searches in 2020. Yeah. And that's really new, right?
I thought so, but I'm not a gamer.
You're not. There's been hype around this for a minute.
Okay.
Denny's has been in it. I think we're just learning about it.
Well, because it was released.
Right.
TV shows. Top searches for Google, it's dominated by Netflix. Top 5 is all Netflix shows. Which is number 1?
Toy or a tiger. What's his name? Joe.
Tiger King.
Thank you. Good
Yeah.
Lord, Bird. Tiger King.
Elf hat's tight, right?
It's really tight,
Yeah.
man.
Tiger King number 1. Your Cobra Kai's 2.
Yep.
Ozark 3.
Both of you need to get on Cobra Kai. I think you both would actually like, even you, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got a new season. They're dropping, I think, first week of January.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to, as soon as 2021 kicks in, I'm going to kick into Cobra Kai so I can zip through those 3.
It's going to make you want to take karate. I'm just throwing that out there. Be prepared.
Will I be a YouTube student like you?
I would love to have a partner.
Okay. The Umbrella Academy, which is something I might jump on. I've heard good stuff about that. My oldest son tells me about that a lot. And then number 5, Queen's Gambit, which I just wrapped up last night for TV shows. Recipes. I heard a lot about this whipped coffee, Virginia.
Oh my gosh, Magnolia made it, and it is fantastic.
Number 2 most searched for thing on Google this year for recipes.
You've got to get like the instant coffee, not coffee grinds, it's instant coffee. And you do this thing with the blender and you whip it all up and oh, it's so good.
For recipes, is this on your little list? It's called the Pizza Hut. It's a gingerbread house, but it's made out of pizza, and I want to recreate it so bad.
I've seen that photo, that meme on social media.
I shared it on our KVJ page, and I want to figure out how to build that. Me and Virginia, I thought she had some knowledge about this stuff. We're both just scrambling.
You got to build the frame.
The frame's the hardest part.
You can build it of anything. Wood,
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
particle board.
I want it bad, Ralston.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I want to make one.
All right.
I want it bad, but I'm so not crafty. I got all thumbs.
Number 1 search for a recipe on Google this year was sourdough bread.
Why?
A lot of people started baking in the pandemic. It became like a thing. There was actually a yeast shortage.
Oh, wow.
Because so many people were trying to bake at home. My sister did it. I know like 3 of my friends did it. Like a bunch of people were baking.
Fat Kevin, your thoughts on a sourdough bread? Love it or leave it?
Fat Kevin used to leave it.
I like it, but I don't love sourdough. If it's there, I'll eat it. It's good.
I love
same way.
sourdough.
But I want something. I want that potato bread.
If I dipped it in enough hot cheese, then I would be okay with sourdough.
That's why it's just a vehicle.
Well, anything in hot cheese. My shoe in hot cheese tastes great.
I'd eat it. Yeah.
I'd love to see you do that video.
Disney Churro was number 3 for the recipes for 2020, and Dole Whip. Do you know what that is, Virginia?
Dole Whip?
Dole. So I assume it's the Cool Whip that they have, and maybe you do something fancy with the Cool Whip.
Dole makes like fruits, canned fruits.
Yeah.
Are you saying dole or duel?
Dole.
Spell it.
Dole. D-O-L-E. Dole.
Yeah, Dole does a lot. Okay, so maybe it's you take fruit and you dip it in this marshmallow cream cheese concoction. That's like a fruit dip.
Okay.
Dole does fruit.
Yeah, Disney apparently does it. There's a copycat, and you can do a DIY with it, and it looks almost like an ice creamy type of treat.
Oh.
I'm looking at it right now, Fat Kevin, and I'm tickled pink. I think it looks delicious. I'm not seeing any kind of.
Is it a frozen treat?
Here it is right here. You would take pineapple and probably squish it in there.
Yeah, vanilla ice cream, pineapple juice. Some people are using canned coconut milk, frozen pineapple, lemon
it's like
juice.
Smoothie.
And stevia. So it seems like it's kind of a non-sugar fruity ice cream.
Okay.
Is what it is. It sounds fantastic, actually. Now I'm excited about it.
If you put some of that creamer we had, what was that called?
Coffee Mate.
That if you put Coffee Mate in that to give it an extra, 1,000 or 2,000 calories, that'd be so delicious.
Okay. Yeah, it's a Disney pineapple flavored ice cream. Heather and Stewart's letting us know.
Do you think Virginia should make that for us tomorrow as an assignment for work?
I'm already making you the boozy Coffee Mate slushy.
That's happening?
That's happening. It was going to happen, but it's been too cold.
It's confirmed it's happening tomorrow.
It warms up, it'll happen.
I mean, Bert's warm. He's ready to go.
I'm not about drinking slushies when it's 40 degrees outside.
That's actually when I do cold drinks. I love an ice cream in cold weather.
Again, you're bizarre.
He does it the exact
Who
opposite.
wants to eat their ice cream all in the hot weather, melting everywhere? I think that's
That's
dumb.
when it's refreshing.
I think it's dumb.
And just to let you know, the Miami Heat was the second most Googled team of 2020. So good for them. Pretty cool. They had a nice run to the NBA championship this year.
If looking back on KVJ, out of all of our storylines and everything with our show, what would be the most Googled thing for our show if you had to guess?
You buying a house?
Okay. Denny's buying a house.
KVJ has Corona.
KVJ has Corona.
Oh, yeah, that might be it. Yeah, who has Corona on KVJ?
Virginia does not get a pool, but Bird does.
Yeah. A lot of irony this year, isn't there? A lot of irony.
The universe is not fair.
Yeah.
It's not.
Coming up in a minute, apparently this is deemed to be not fair. Jaybird's got a buddy that has a son, 14 years old. They got a 3-day suspension for something he posted up on social media. Is that punishment fair or foul? We'll discuss next. I mean, come on, is this even fair? Or would you put this in the foul category? Punishments doled out by schools. Jaybird's got a buddy with a 14-year-old son who just got a 3-day suspension for writing the following post on his social media account. He wrote, "When you go to parties, do you like to be sober, drunk, high, or drunken high? Just curious." And apparently that was enough to land him 3 days in suspension. Did it say in school, out of school? Do you know?
I believe it is out of school.
Okay.
And I believe he wrote this during school while he was supposed to be paying attention, and then other kids started chiming on. And
Public school?
it's a private school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where you tread into different stuff.
Why is it? Because you're paying and they can make their own rules?
The rules are going to be more strict if it is a religion-based school.
It's not religious.
Secular
It's
or
not,
religious?
It's not religious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a private school.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they do kind of make their own rules. They tend to be a little bit more strict than some of the public schools.
But does that seem a little over the top for that post? Because the kid does not drink, doesn't smoke. He said he was just doing a stupid survey to see where everyone's heads was at. But I mean, what 14-year-old kid? I don't drink, I don't smoke.
Yeah, and you're firing up kids to also comment on that. So you're Pied Pipering the party mentality, and they're like, we got to take a stance.
He's asking if you're sober too. He just wanted to see where.
Did he violate any kind of rules the school might have about using phones or social media while during school hours?
It was the content.
The content
The
is what did
content,
it,
not the-
being on
yeah.
the phone, not putting up something on social media. You can do all that fine. So it specifically is about the content.
You think? So you agree that's firing kids up to go party?
I mean, I see where the school would think it was inappropriate. I do think it's a little harsh to kick him out for 3 days.
3 days is harsh, in my opinion.
I mean, kids get that for like fighting in the hallways and trying to knock each other's block off. I don't think this is that bad.
You're Principal Ralston, and that happens. Is there even a punishment?
No, he comes to me. He needs to take it down. I mean, could you please take that post down and just say, hey, this is to let you know that anything that has to do with intoxicants, and we're talking about students 18 years and under, let's not go there. And then I would probably just be like, hey, let's on our social media accounts, if I have that right, and if I'm a private school, I think I probably do, to be like, we don't want anybody in our student body posting anything in any kind of relation to intoxicants that are illegal and that are illegal for your age. So that would include drinking.
I mean, you bring up a good point. Even going to a private school and a public school for college, it's different for rules. I went to a private one and I went to a public one, and you could change grades if you know.
Private school, you can do whatever you want, and if you don't like it, don't go to that school. That's what it really.
That's what they'll say.
Yeah, it boils down to be like, okay, then leave. Oh, man. That's fine if you don't like what we do here, but we're not changing for you. You have to adapt to what we do, and if you like that, then come here, and if not, then don't.
If a kid does that public school, does he still get the same kind of punishment?
I don't think public school seems to be as strict as private, and I just know from having kids that have done a little bit of both, and it did not seem.
Yeah, I think private schools are definitely more strict.
It's almost like private schools are looking for reasons to kick kids out if they get out of
It
line.
depends upon the private school, because I had twins, and both of them were writing in separate private schools, and there's different attitudes at different private schools.
So do you feel like some private schools, there's a student in there that they kind of want to see out, and they...
One went to a school that was a little bit more strict. The other one was kind of like Animal House.
And I think I know the strict one you speak of. I won't say the name.
So that was the tones that I got. So yeah, I deem that to be a little bit too strict, but maybe somebody's got some insight that helps it to make a little bit more sense. If you'd like to sound off 877-979-WRMF, you can hit us up here on the KVJ Show. We're talking about Jaybird's buddy who has got a 14-year-old son that got suspended for 3 days from school for writing this post on his social media during school hours. Says, when you go to parties, do you like to be sober, drunk, high or drunk and high? Just curious. That's what he wrote up there. And he got a 3-day suspension for that. Somebody had said in a text, private schools have the control to make you change your social media. So if it were private, it's inbounds to be able to do that. So they do have control. It's not an infringement on your rights or anything like that.
Yeah, and people were saying, too, your parents got to sign some stuff in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know any of those details. I'm just giving you kind of the shorthand version here.
And every school is different, too. That's the thing about these private schools. They make their own rules. They make their own bubble. And then they will kick a bad kid out quick.
I couldn't believe it, going from a public school to private in college, just seeing how people, we're talking a year after somebody's taken a class where they could go in, talk to a professor or somebody that's in charge and have that grade changed. If you were a friend of the program.
Really? Well, I don't like that so much. That just seems
It
sketchy.
happens, man.
Pay to
I'm sure it
play.
does.
Pay to play.
Somebody said it's probably because of the drug-related content. Drugs in schools is such a big thing. The kids have so much access to it, so a post like that kind of promotes it. Maybe that's how they looked at it.
True, I hear you.
Yeah.
And somebody said if the post ended up being a disruption of the educational environment, then a public school would also suspend the student.
And that could have been the case, if other kids started commenting.
Which they did.
They're not paying attention to their classwork or just getting involved in drug talk.
Yeah.
I mean, but with all that said, it's still it is a good question. If you want to know what your peers are doing.
I don't think the punishment fits the crime.
Agreed.
And I like this text. It says, I don't think suspension teaches anything communication does. And that's why, Principal Kev would have sat him down and said, hey, this is out of bounds.
I'd love to see what a school looks like with Principal Kevin versus Principal Virginia and the difference.
They make a movie,
I
yeah.
would like to see the difference in schools.
You think so, huh?
I would not be a good principal.
And then Principal Bird, how would I run a school? I mean, there'd be so much candy in the classrooms.
And people are already calling out Principal Virginia about how she's handling fighting. Somebody texted and said, Virginia's wrong as usual. Fist fighting is an automatic 10-day suspension, not 3.
Well, it should be 3.
Okay. Virginia, see, that's what happens. You can whoop somebody's ass at Virginia school, and okay. She'll ask, first question, what did they do?
No, what did he do?
Some
Yeah,
people
what did he
deserve
do?
an ass whooping.
Okay.
I need to investigate.
So Virginia school, fighting is warranted if they deserved it.
It's a
Yes.
violent school, Kevin.
Yeah, it's a very violent school. Birthdays today. Got a happy birthday for Raven Simone, turning 35 years old. That's so Raven. Start off on the Cosby Show way back in the day. Bobby Flay, celebrity chef, turns 56 today. Also got a birthday for Caroline and my BFF Jewel Cats today.
Oh, that's our friends that brought the cupcakes for the Bahamas relief.
Oh,
Those sweet
Oh, yeah.
girls.
happy
Okay.
birthday.
Jewel Cat's having the birthday. Caroline sending the shout out. Happy 40th birthday to my handsome husband, Dan. I can't wait to love you for the next 40 plus years. From Amy. Also, we got Jose from Port St. Lucie. He's turning 18 and was hoping that we could give him a little shout out. Of course we can. Also, Elmer having a birthday. Alejandra, your wife, and your dog Max sending you a little shout out. We got engaged at the KVJ Show for the Bahamas Relief. We love you guys.
Aw.
How cool is that? Very nice. If you got a birthday you want to get on the show, just let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com. Tonight kicks off Hanukkah, so you can get not only your 8 gifts going, but you also got the Foo Fighters' Dave Grohl coming out with 8 new Jewish-inspired songs for Hanukkah. So he drops song 1 tonight. And coming up here in a couple of minutes, we're going to strap Suits, our one resident Jew here, with the shot collar to see just how much he knows about Hanukkah.
Oh, no.
I'm excited for this.
How good of a Jew is Suits? We're going to find out, put him to the test with some Hanukkah Fact or Fiction coming up next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Last night just wrapped up the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. I loved it. It's kind of like Rocky with chess is basically how I would put it. Found out it is a fictional story based off a book from 1984, but it's a really cool, empowering type of story. And they do it so you're like going, this had to have happened. It looks that way.
You even had to go look it up and see, oh, wait, did this happen?
I was expecting it to be based on a true story, so I was surprised that it's not. It's kind of a collection of chess stories and things wrapped into one character.
Gotcha.
Still fascinating and good. So what we got today for our KVJ draft, we're doing Netflix original programming. It can be anything from TV series to full-length movies that they make now to documentaries. And they have to have produced it. It can't be programming produced somewhere else. Now, I do know some shows will qualify because they started somewhere else, but now Netflix produces them and makes them themselves. So that will count. We'll grandfather that show or shows in.
Okay. Virginia's going down. She knows it. You can see it in her eyes.
I am picking stuff that I've seen.
Okay.
So I have a short list. And if I haven't seen it, I don't think I can pick it.
That's not.
It's a tough mix. Yeah, it's a tough mix what to do. And I'm kind of torn because I'm seeing a lot of comments. People like, oh, they got to go with this. They got to go with that. I'm like, should I go with that? But I've never seen that. I've never even heard of that. But a lot of people are saying, oh, you got to go with this show.
And we should make it, too, that the loser is not allowed to watch Netflix for a year if you get dead last
Let's
on
make
this.
it 10.
Who's going to enforce
10.
that?
Let's make it 10 years.
Honor system, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I pay $15 a month for my Netflix. If I pay $15 a month, I'm watching it.
Yeah, well, we know you don't do sudden death punishments anyway.
She doesn't partake.
Nah.
Okay, I did not start off well. I got a 3, which I don't like that because there's a lot of shows I really wanted to get. I don't know why this card was calling to me. I guess it's like, I want to lose.
Although the bottom, usually the one that does get to pick last has that good 1-2 combo.
But I feel like there's about 3 or 4 shows that you want to try to grab early. This is one of the, some drafts it works for you. I think this is one that this hurts to not be early. So, and I clearly will not. So, not looking good for me. Virginia, what do you got?
I'm looking real good. I
Always.
mean, the best. Ace is high,
Okay.
baby.
Oh, how weird. Virginia got a high card. How odd.
I know.
Never
Shocking.
happens.
Weird.
Maybe you should look into being a witch.
Bird, what you got?
I got a 4. I like being low. It's kind of my thing.
Okay. Denny's?
I got an 8.
Okay, and what does Suits have?
Suits has a 9.
Oh.
Okay. All right, so yeah, go figure. I got last. Okay, so Virginia, you get the overall first pick here in our KVJ draft for Netflix original programming. What are you going to go with here?
In the first overall pick, Kevin, I take Narcos.
Oh, it's a good one.
I love
It's going to be
Narcos.
so sad.
I love the show. It's very intense, and I love it.
I'm going to just sit back and watch everybody take all the great shows. This is going to be a sad draft for me.
I think there'll be stuff on there for you.
Okay.
You go deep with your watching.
And with that, with Narcos, you get all of them. We'll
I
give you
know.
all,
I
yes.
get all of the Narcos, and I get the theme song, Jaybird.
Okay.
Good. I'm happy for you. This elf wants nothing but good things for his peers.
Okay. Christmas elf.
Except Suits.
Except for Suits when I shock him.
Yeah. Suits, you've got the second pick here in today's KVJ draft. What are you going to go with?
I am going to take Stranger Things.
Son of a biscuit.
Oh, it's a good one.
I'm just sitting back and watching all the good ones go.
It's very popular.
Okay, we go now to Denny's. What is going to be your first pick for the KVJ draft?
So I'm going to go for a popular one here, try to get some votes. I'm going to go Queen's Gambit.
Oh, Denny's took your show.
It's very hot.
Damn, Kevin.
I know.
You just
I'm
wrapped
telling you,
it.
I'm just sitting back having to take it.
He hasn't watched minute 1 of it.
No, it's terrible. Trust me, this is very painful today. I hate this.
Kind of keeping the trend going.
Gosh. Jaybird, what do you got?
I didn't like season 3, but I'm only doing this just to dig it in a little bit more to Ralston. I take Ozark. In your face. Take it. Take it.
Damn it. Y'all trying to kill him?
Yeah.
All right, well, shots fired, shots received, and shot back at you. I'm taking Cobra Kai.
I knew it.
Oh.
And I'm going to take Tiger King.
Oh. That's a good one, Kevin.
I mean, you did good.
Okay, that's all I had left. Bird, it's back up to you. Next pick.
I'm going to take...
30 minutes to give you my answer.
Why don't you pipe down? You've got a lot of nerve.
I was ready for the bit, Kevin.
Oh, thank you, Virginia, for your preparation.
I'm a little...
Uh-oh.
Give me
He
one
was,
sec.
he was so
Scrolling.
excited to take Ozark from me.
Oh, my
Knowing that was going to be my
Oh,
number one
okay.
pick. Yeah.
Up
What?
the creek, with the bad word in it.
That's not a Netflix original.
Oh, it's not.
Damn. You didn't do your homework.
Nope, he did not.
Kevin only told us about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, only talking about Selena the series.
And someone just lost the competition.
Wow.
Selena
Okay.
the series.
Are you even
Selena?
taking this serious?
I didn't take. I thought.
He just looked on the app, and it's the number one thing this week. So.
It's trending. Bird's accidentally trending.
Wow. Oh man, he was doing a tap dance after taking Ozark, and that's all he had. That's all I had. That's all he
He
had.
came out guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
I was gonna come back with the Cobra Kai, but yeah, you took the wind.
Oh,
Nothing
that's so
left.
funny.
Denny's, what is your next pick here in the KVJ draft for Netflix original programming?
Go with a personal favorite, Arrested Development.
Oh.
That's not well. They made the they
got
were
the
responsible
N.
for the end. You're
Yeah,
right.
they got the emblem.
Oh, so you got to give it to
Oh,
him.
Smart man.
They
I
stole it
forgot
from
about
Fox,
that.
yes.
I forgot about that. Great call, Denny's. Okay, Suits is back here. What is your next pick, Suits, in the KVJ draft? This is your second pick.
I'm going to go with one of the bigger ones that they had when they first started doing the original shows. Orange is the New Black.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, everybody loved that show once upon a
That's
time.
not even on my list. What am I even looking
It
at?
actually put them on the map.
All right, Virginia, you got the next two picks here to wrap up the KVJ draft. What are you going with? You got Narcos as your first pick.
Yes. I am going to take Outer Banks
Oh, okay.
because I loved it.
I shamefully love that as well.
It was really good. I can't
it's
wait.
fun.
What's going to happen in the next season? Are they going to ever?
It's
Oh,
going to be exciting, Virginia.
so good. And then I could do one of two things. I could make Kevin cry, or I could take something I've watched.
Okay.
Make him cry. Make him feel
Yeah,
it.
it seems to be the theme here.
It was a real riggy summer. Let's make it a real cold winter.
Oh.
All right, I'll take House of Cards.
Okay, House of Cards.
Didn't you love that?
I love the first couple of seasons, absolutely. Not sure how it finished. In fact, I didn't even watch the final season. Okay, we go back to Suits, your final pick here. Netflix original programming.
I am going to take Black Mirror.
That was my next pick.
Dang.
Forgot about. This is the worst list ever. I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't think you did your homework here, Jay Bird.
Well, I'm looking at Netflix movies in Hungary.
Yeah.
Those count, though.
May not be the best source of reference here. Okay, Denny's. What is your final pick here?
Oh, I was going to do Black Mirror. I also had The Witcher as my follow-up, but nobody knows that. I'm going to go with The Great British Baking Show.
Damn it!
Oh,
That's my cut.
Bird loves that, one.
Okay, Jay Bird, which Hungarian movie are you going to go with?
Oh, Suits laughing too.
Suits is even laughing at you.
It feels like one of those dreams where everyone's moving in slow motion, laughing at me.
You got Selena, the series on there. Let's go with something in Hungarian.
Maybe the Selena is give me Too Hot for TV or Too Hot to Handle, that reality show.
Too hot to handle.
Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
I
but,
liked it.
I mean, I have secured myself at last place again.
That was impressive.
It was. It's impressive to be that bad, I feel.
Okay, let me see here. With my final pick, I am going to go with The Umbrella Academy.
Interesting.
I hear that's very good.
Your son has recommended
Yes.
it to you.
Yes.
But you've yet to watch it.
That's a family vote because they tell me nonstop watch The Umbrella Academy, so I'm throwing one out there for my son Colin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I hear it's very good.
I forgot about Bird Box.
You
Bird
forgot
Box,
about
yeah.
The Crown?
Bird Box would have worked. I mean, things that were left off we didn't get to. Peaky Blinders, which I'm watching and I do enjoy, but I don't know if it's mass appeal. Extraction is the movie that they did with Thor. Mm-hmm. The Crown. You got Triple Frontier. That was the Ben Affleck movie they did. Eddie Murphy's Dolomite Is My Name. Bloodline, which I used to love. Lucifer, I know people love that.
Riverdale?
Many mistakes have been made from 6 a.m. to now.
Mindhunter, The Haunting of Hill House.
Mindhunter. I was just talking about.
American
Dude,
Vandal.
That was so
get it
big.
together,
Russian
Bird.
Doll, Glow, Daredevil,
Unbelievable.
Making a Murderer.
The Haunting of Hill House, that one's real popular.
Filthy Rich? Jeffrey Epstein?
Oh, yeah, the documentary.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Pipe down, Denny's.
The Pharmacist? That is really good.
I almost went Attenborough documentary, but I was like, no one's going to vote for that.
It just pays to do your homework, guys.
So here's what it does. You got to prep for this, Virginia. And I recommend not going on Hungarian sites. It's not going to help you out much. Okay, so here's how it wraps up. The KVJ Draft, Netflix original programming. Virginia's got Narcos, Outer Banks, House of Cards. Suits has Stranger Things, Orange is the New Black, and Black Mirror. Denny's has The Queen's Gambit, Arrested Development, and The Great British Baking Show. Jaybird's got Ozark, Selena the series, and Too Hot to Handle in Hungary. And I've got Cobra Kai, Tiger King, and The Umbrella Academy.
Ooh, we
Pretty
all got
solid.
good picks.
Yeah. Well,
I'll take it. I'll take it. You're right. I went too, not too big. I went too small.
okay. We're going to post that up on our Facebook page. You can vote on who put together the best team of 3. Taylor Swift is one of the 100 most powerful women on planet Earth, at least according to Forbes magazine. She comes in at number 82 on the list, but she is behind Beyonce at 72, who is behind Rihanna at 69. You agree with that? Is that the right order? Rihanna, Beyonce, Taylor Swift? World's most powerful women? That's what Forbes says. Rihanna with the Fenty line, I think, has got her up there with all that power.
Yeah, she's not messing around. That Fenty lip gloss is fire.
Yeah, and Beyonce's crushing it in the money department, too. So
Taylor Swift needs to get one of those products. Doesn't Taylor do a golf club?
She should do cardigans.
Ah.
I don't get the joke.
Yeah. That is a great song.
it's lost on you.
It's a. A jam, is it?
Oh, it's her jammiest jam out there right now.
Yeah.
Do you not listen to the hits of WRMF?
I love a little swift humor. Thank you for that.
That's what it is.
She's trying to upstage you again, Denny's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see Virginia's jokes are not landing.
Not at all.
No, let's hope Denny's does better here with the joke jury. He's got the jokes. We let him know what works and what doesn't. All right, what you got here, Denny's?
All right, get ready for a weird round.
Oh, good. Bert will love it.
Yes. First joke. What do you call an Italian dish that picks on another Italian dish?
I don't know. What do you call it?
A stromboli.
Oh, Stromboli.
Oh, Stromboli.
Yeah, get it?
Look, this bad Italian loves some
Yes.
bad comedy. That's great.
Amazing.
Stromboli. It's good. Okay.
It's good.
Second joke. Where do slugs get chicken zingers?
I don't know. Where do they get them?
The snail house.
Oh.
Bird, I think, missed that.
I heard it.
You did, what?
I heard it.
He curd it.
I heard it.
Let's see here. Third joke. What's a vegan's favorite 80s singer?
A vegan's favorite 80s singer. I don't know. What is it?
Beyond Meatloaf.
That's good.
That's good. That's
Good.
good.
It's vegan comedy.
Okay, I like that one.
Yes,
That's a winner.
It's very
keep
hip.
that one.
I will.
Okay.
Fourth joke. What would E.T. say if he had a poop fetish?
I don't even think this needs a punchline. I don't know what.
Feces, pieces.
I didn't see that one coming.
I told you it'd be weird round.
I was lost on that one.
2 or 3 dabs after that one.
That was a lot.
Okay.
That was a lot.
Final joke, too. What did Cardi B say when Santa stopped by?
I don't know. What did Cardi B say?
There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house.
Okay.
Yeah, good. It's
Topical.
the lyric.
Certified freak.
Regina's going to go and sing the entire unedited version of Pop Now, just for our listening audience.
I did on Thanksgiving. I'll do it again.
Okay. It's kind of a tricky situation. Okay, do I dump them now? Do I got to wait? What is that deal? We talked about that a little bit yesterday. They actually have this declared drop a turkey day or whatever it is, where if you're ever going to dump that person that you just don't feel like being in a relationship with, this is the day where you can get rid of them and then not have that holiday guilt, apparently.
But if you do it on December 1st, you got to stay with that person. Have to have a very depressing,
That's it,
sad,
yeah, that's it.
empty Christmas with
That's
someone you
it.
don't like.
Most people look at you wrong. So here we got a couple makeup or breakups here, and this is one that came up. Said makeup or breakup, your lies led to my COVID.
Oh, boy.
Says here in the email, I'm supposed to marry my fiance in 2 months. However, recently she did something that has me questioning our relationship. I found out that she had COVID-19 and never told me about it. I found her positive test results with the date on it. The only reason I know any of this was because I saw an email in her inbox with the results. She forgot to close out the window on her computer, and I just happened to see it. I did not let her know that I saw any of her COVID information. I'm still trying to process it all. I'm getting tested today. The thing that really bothers me is that I've also been in contact with my elderly mother who has pre-existing conditions. In your opinion, would this be considered a deal breaker? Would you make up or break up here?
Personally, I would
Yeah.
break up.
Really? Now we're talking about somebody you're going to marry in 2 months.
Do they live together and she's got COVID and she knows she's got it and she didn't tell the man in her house she's living with?
To me, if I was even just dating somebody and they had COVID and I found out that they didn't just tell me, that's a weird thing not to tell somebody that you're intimately involved with.
Was she hanging out with you after the diagnosis and didn't say anything?
Sounds like it. Yeah, that's at least what it sounds like. Can't tell whether they live together or not. It doesn't state it in the email.
She's lucky I don't bounce a chair off her head. Not only are you getting dumped, it's going to be loud and it's going to be angry.
That's a
Okay,
big. That's
so
a big.
you call off the wedding. No more wedding, no more fiance. You just gone.
That's a big deal. Yeah, this girl is tone deaf. She's an idiot.
I want to sit down and have a talk with her, but if her excuses and everything lines up with her not just telling me because she didn't want to tell me, Wallace Pennington's heard enough. We're out.
Out. Gone.
Yeah,
Done.
If you're going to marry somebody, you also should be able to tell them that you have COVID.
You should be able to trust that they understand how serious it is and that you go around your elderly mother.
Yeah, you put, one, here's several things that this shows you. And every behavior that we all have, it's, got deeper connections. This one shows you, you could insert anything else other than COVID, and there's judgment errors that are happening here.
She's an idiot.
They're obviously, even if you don't believe in the vid and you don't think it's that big of a deal, still you've got an elderly mother in this situation with pre-existing conditions, and it shows a lack of care and concern and empathy for somebody else. Those right there are some characteristics that you wouldn't want to have. Let's say that you get through this major hurdle in your relationship and you can forgive it. They have still demonstrated a lack of judgment, a lack of empathy and common sense.
Yeah, she's a dummy.
And what is going to come up in the future? Today, it's this COVID thing. What happens in a year? What happens in 5 years?
I did forget to ask the very important question. How hot is she?
Smoking.
She's a 12 out of 10.
Are you talking about the fiance or the elderly mother?
We're talking about the fiance.
Okay.
Is the mom hot, though?
Very.
Okay.
Okay, so we got a majority of people getting out of that one. This email for the makeup or breakup, I think he's still going to propose. That's what it says here. It didn't sound like a bad thing. The email says, though, I have been with my boyfriend for 18 months. We've been talking marriage recently, and I'm concerned that my boyfriend is going to use the holidays to propose. He had mentioned that he thought it would be cool to propose in front of his family, but I told him that I wanted it to be a moment with just us. I also told him that I thought it was cliche and that I want the holidays to not be about our future marriage. Despite leaving no doubt on my opinion, I still get a feeling that my boyfriend strongly disagrees and is still thinking about proposing anyway.
Oh, boy.
Thinking there's no way I would dare turn him down in front of his family. Now, I really don't want to be in that position, and right now I'm thinking that if he does propose, I actually might just tell him, you know what, not right now. I have let him know how I feel, and if he doesn't respect that, do I really want to be with him anyway? Would you?
Gosh, both of them are so annoying. They both annoy the heck out of me here.
Why does she annoy you?
Because now we're just playing mind games for mind games. He did something, now I'm going to do a bigger mind game. I would just sit him down and say, if you're thinking about proposing in front of your family, don't do that. But if she doesn't do that.
She did that.
I do it again. If she keeps having this gut feeling, don't let it get to a point where now you have to play another mind game.
Address it before you're in it.
She has.
I do it again.
No, if she still thinks he's going to do it, she needs to keep addressing it.
Address it more and more, because that's better than you now not saying yes in front of his family.
His family's going to hate you. It's going to be dramatic.
It's
There's
all
probably going to
drama.
be tears.
That's why they're both annoying.
You got to keep bringing this up to him and remind him how stupid it is.
If we sat down and had a sincere conversation, this wouldn't even be a problem.
And just say, look, if you do this in front of your family, I hope they are prepared for me to say no. I'm going to say no if you propose to me on Christmas in front of your family.
So that's not a surprise. He knows the outcome. If you propose here, I'm not saying no. That's not where I'm going to say yes to you.
Take all the mystery out of it.
And when in doubt, like you are, over-communicate your concern so it doesn't get crazy.
Okay. All right. So just be more communicative on this.
Yes.
Don't get to that situation where it could be that.
Or just, don't ever get married.
Summarizing this email, it says basically, cut to the chase. It says you're madly in love, but your BFF hates your significant other and refuses to ever hang out with him. You know that staying together will have an impact on your friendship. So you're madly in love, but your best friend cannot stand your significant other, and they'll never hang out with them. You stay together, you're probably going to have a fractured relationship with your best friend, Virginia. How would you handle a situation like that?
You're going to have to figure out how to keep them separate. Mm-hmm. You can't have them together, but you can still have a relationship with her. I think your main focus needs to be your future and your man and the person that you plan on marrying. But you can still have a relationship with a girl that hates your husband.
Okay.
It's just going to have to be on the side. You can't have them together.
Okay, so you can still maneuver around this. You don't have to dump anybody. You can still keep everybody happy.
I would try. You don't want to dump anybody in this scenario.
And one more email that was sent to KVJ Show for Makeup or Breakup. Basically, this email says there's a girl that is in this friend group, this girl's friend group that she doesn't really care for. And she has told this girl that her boyfriend tried to sleep with her. Now, your boyfriend, when she's asked him, he denied it. But earlier that day at a friend's house, you fought with your boyfriend because he gave this same girl a ride on the back of a jet ski. So there's a little bit of smoke, but do you believe the fire, Virginia? So what you've got here is you've got a girl that is a frenemy, and she has said that she slept with your boyfriend. Your boyfriend denies it, but he has given this girl a ride on a jet ski. Could more have happened? Who do you believe in this situation?
I don't know.
Would you get upset if Panda was giving a hot chick a ride on a jet ski?
If she got off the jet ski and said that they banged, yeah, I would.
Okay, yeah.
I would definitely be up in arms and trying to investigate. There's always other people that know about stuff like this, and I would start going deeper with questions into their friend group.
It's a get in the bushes kind of moment.
It is.
You don't necessarily break up with them right now, but you at least start investigating because she could be telling the truth.
And don't let him know you're investigating. That's the best kind of investigation. When no one has an idea that you're doing it, you just smile at both of them and act so happy, act like you're drunk when you're not, and watch them.
Do you sound like a controlling girlfriend if you forbid your boyfriend from giving any other women jet ski rides?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. All right. Okay, I got some thoughts here on some of the makeup or breakups. People text in 877-979-WRMF. Somebody said V is full of a bomb on her Instagram. She was on the back of a jet ski, and I think her and Panda were fighting at the time. What? What is that? What are you posting up there, Virginia, on your Instagram? Somebody's saying.
I was on the back of a jet ski fighting with Panda?
I don't know what that's all about, but you know what? It's got me intrigued to want to go check it out.
Panda doesn't jet ski. He doesn't like boating or the water, so...
I don't know what they think they're seeing. They must be following somebody else and think that you got a really exciting Instagram. You just got a whole bunch of new followers, Virginia. You'd be like, well, where's this fighting at? I would love to get this kind of stuff. It's great. Let me see some of the other comments that have come in. A lot of people are pretty much just saying, you know, I think it would be good if you had that couple that was both annoying about the proposal. It'd be better to have them marry each other. That way there's two less annoying people in the world. Let the annoying people marry the annoying people.
Take them out of the pool.
That's a great thought, exactly. Take them out of the dating pool. You know, I know a lot of people are looking forward to the end of 2020. We were talking yesterday about what kind of celebration it's going to be for New Year's. Oh, man, are people going to be going crazy just to say, you know what, 2020 is over? You hope 2021 is going to be better at least from summer on, right?
You hope.
You're hoping? It's got to get better day by day. Every day we're going to look around and be like going, you know what, this crazy world is getting a little bit better. But if you're looking to blow it out in South Florida, usually one of the best places in America to celebrate New Year's, apparently this year it's going to be terrible. I'll tell you why next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at KVJShow.com.
South Florida is going to be terrible for New Year's. Well, that's at least what they're saying. According to Wallet Hub, that obviously hates South Florida because just last week they named Fort Lauderdale as the least safest city in America.
Yeah, I saw that.
And now they're saying that Miami is going to be the second worst city in America to celebrate New Year's in.
Why?
Here's the rationale. They say coronavirus rate, and, you know, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the numbers for cases and deaths and all that. Look, it's not a great story that we got going on here in South Florida, but I'm looking at some other places. It seems like it's worse other places. I don't know where you're picking on South Florida. They say takeout and delivery options are not as abundant in Miami as in other cities that they ranked. And the biggest thing I think is dinging Miami is the price of alcohol in stores. A lot more places you can get your booze affordably for New Year's. Miami, it's not as easy to get, and you're going to be paying a lot. Now, when you don't have a pandemic, Miami's usually one of the best places because of the nightclubs, all the things that you can do. However, Wallet Hub is saying this year, South Florida is going to be terrible for New Year's. And to top it off, too, they always pile on Hialeah. Hialeah was 5th on the list of the worst cities, according to WalletHub.com.
Miami's never been cheap to cocktail it up in. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I get that. But, I mean, I think Miami is just going through what a lot of other big cities are going through.
I think most years what they're saying, if this has any kind of credence, is that normally you'll pay that amount to go out and celebrate New Year's in Miami because of the ambiance and the excitement. When you take that away because of a pandemic, now there's still a lot of the cost, but you don't have the reasons why you were spending that money in the first place. Thus, that's why South Florida will suck for New Year's this year.
That's true. And my friend who just moved down there, he moved away and then moved back, said a lot of the places are closed. A lot of the businesses, restaurants, bars, and stuff that he remembers being there there, the pandemic took them out. So when you go down there, Miami Beach especially looks very different.
So what is it like? What is an idea for a great, fun, successful New Year's Eve? I've heard of some people doing bonfires on the beach.
Yeah, that's fun.
Outdoor social distancing. We have a little bit more luxury to do that. If I had to say what would be most fun for New Year's, I think that would be it. Where you're outdoors and you're still having fun. And you got the bonfire for warmth.
Yeah, bonfire's great.
They are good times.
I like a good house party. I like staying in for New Year's Eve. I don't like going out for New Year's Eve.
We bought a fire pit, and I have it at our house. It's like a portable fire pit.
Yeah.
And that thing is cool. You can move it wherever you want, front yard, backyard, and just sit around it and just drink your champagne. I did that last year. It was lovely.
Mm-hmm. How much you pay for that, eh?
Fire pit, I want to say it was like 80 bones.
Okay, that's like a low-budget fire pit.
Yeah, it's not fancy.
Because you can get some good fire pits.
It does the trick. It totally, it's not a built-in. I can move it.
My wife dug one out of our neighbor's garbage, and I'm not sure it works, but it looks pretty.
I inspected it. It definitely does not work.
Yeah, I don't think it works. But
So you have a broken fire pit?
yeah, from a distance, it looks like, oh, cool, they got a fire pit. It doesn't work.
From a distance, I would say once you get up about 15 feet on it, you're like, what's going on here?
It's great from 30 feet back.
Yeah, 30 feet back, it's beautiful.
Great. It's the best fire pit you'd ever want. So, yeah, we got that. Maybe we'll do that for New Year's. Coming up here in just a second, checking into the FML website. If you got one thing after another, it seems like just 2020's piling on. Virginia, my favorite football game, got canceled this weekend.
I know.
I'm like, what's next, 2020?
No Ohio-Michigan game?
I know.
Oh, boy.
First time in 102 years. Thank you, COVID. Ever have something comically terrible happen to you? Well, then take it to the FML website. You can go through a misery loves company type situation reading some of these comments that are on there. Somebody posted up that today we overheard a customer in our store talking on the phone about how she'd been exposed to somebody positive for COVID-19 and was heading home to quarantine for a couple weeks because she was starting to feel symptoms coming on. Guess whose checkout lane she got in?
Oh, my gosh.
I think I would demand a break, even if I just got off break.
I would take out a Lysol can and spray her in the face.
I don't think you would.
You don't think I would?
In the face?
In the face.
Okay.
And then I'd knock her upside the head with the back end of it.
Yeah.
What a dumb bitch.
She got to get those supplies before she goes home to quarantine, but she got to check out first.
My gosh. People are stupid.
Mm-hmm. Somebody else said, today I got bitched at by an old lady in Walmart for lowering my mask. She didn't seem to care that I was using an inhaler to stop an asthma attack. Some people are sticklers for that mask law. Somebody else put up today, I was at a grocery store buying ice cream after the tragedy of losing my grandma.
Aww.
When I got to the cash register, the cashier saw the sadness in my eyes and said, "It's okay. You'll find the right one someday. The one that can look at your inner beauty and not care about the rest." He politely called me ugly, which only added to my depression.
That happens a lot where you're checking out and the person checking you out, they got something to say. They got a quip or an opinion. I've fallen victim to this before. They're judging me what I'm eating. No one asked for your dietary opinion.
Check out counselors.
Yes.
Check out therapists.
That is funny when they want to talk to you about what you're buying and you're just trying to get out of there.
Oh, really? Oh, 3 boxes of Uncrustables. Yeah. 3 boxes of Uncrustables. I like Uncrustables.
I have a problem.
Yes, I have an Uncrustable addiction. Step off.
Another post on the FML site said, today I was eating some pie that my roommate's grandmother brought by for us. I felt something weird in my mouth, so I stopped chewing to grab it. It was a fingernail.
Oh, Grandma.
Fingernail pie. Another one said, today I saw an elderly man fall in a crosswalk. So I jumped off my bike to help, and as I helped him across, the light turned green. I then watched across a 6-lane busy street as somebody was stealing my bike and pedaling away.
Oh, no.
But you were helping the old guy.
You were. I mean, honestly, in the law of, karma, you're ahead.
How bad is it, though, if you're trying to help the old guy, but the old guy's yelling at you the whole time? Don't touch me.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
If someone's pedaling away on your bike and you can't get through traffic.
That's a bad day.
That's a bad one.
Somebody said, today I heard that peen analogy, the smaller the nest, the bigger the bird. You ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah, we all have.
Okay. So I shaved my twig and berries, and when my girlfriend saw it, she said, "You look like my little 6-year-old brother," and dumped me.
Well, she's, first of all, very shallow.
Yes. Right.
Is that true, though, about the whole nest and the bird?
I
and
personally, Kevin's always spoke very highly of that. To me, it doesn't really prove to be that true.
It's like funhouse mirrors, Virginia. You just got to kind of put the illusion on. But he does bring up a good point. Don't go too close, because then you're right. You do look like a 6-year-old boy, and that's just creepy and weird.
Shaving feels like it's too aggressive,
Yes,
but maybe
trim.
like trimming.
Keep in mind, yeah, the twig looks a little bit bigger, but so do the berries. And do we really want the berries to look that much bigger?
Well, not everybody's carrying watermelons like you.
I'm just saying.
You got a bird with 2 big eggs.
I'm just saying.
You got ostrich
It's
eggs.
a full nest.
You got to remember that everything's bigger.
Clearly, that bird didn't come out of those eggs.
Yeah.
Because the eggs are much bigger than the bird. A couple more from the FML site today. My mother, who thinks I'm a virgin, called me while I was having sex with my boyfriend.
Oh, boy, that's intense.
I pretty much have to answer every time she calls or she freaks out thinking something's wrong. And so I ended the conversation quickly and I hung up and continued on with my boyfriend, or at least I thought I'd hung up. Apparently, my mom listened to the next 20 minutes of our lovemaking session.
Your mom's too close. Your mom's got to let go a little bit, because you sound like you're a legal age and an adult.
Yeah. Live your life.
You can't be always answering the phone for mom.
Mm-hmm. And finally, on the FML site, somebody said, today I was showing a repairman to our washing machine. And as I passed by the TV, we were stopped by my 4-year-old who was trying to turn on the TV with my vibrator.
Oh.
The repairman patiently waited as I exchanged my double-headed destroyer for the remote. That's a little awkward.
Double-headed destroyer.
I don't know.
Sounds a little intense.
You really want to put that in an intimate place.
You're way too vanilla.
Not all privates are built the same.
The witch would not like this.
The witch couldn't handle it.
She doesn't, yeah. You don't have the right attitude.
The witch is tapping.
You got to be a warrior in there, Virginia.
Oh, no.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Well, when you're a mall Santa who gets fired because you made a little kid cry when you told him that you wouldn't be bringing him any gun for Christmas, what are you rooting for? A story where another Santa does it worse. So congratulations to that Santa, because now there's a shopping mall Santa in Connecticut that's facing charges for allegedly groping a teenage coworker on Monday and then flashing her.
Charges? Oh my gosh. This is definitely going to overshadow that other story.
So Nerf gun Santa, you're now off the hook. Pervy Santa.
Wow.
You are now the focus. Royal Caribbean has been running a Cruise to Nowhere campaign with almost 1,700 people. They might want to change that to Cruise to the Clinic, because they had to turn around. Somebody there has tested positive for coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, why are you cruising? I mean, what happened, Suits? You know more?
Fake. That's what's happening. It was a false positive, and the news didn't change it after the fact when it came back. So they isolated. They brought the ship back. They followed their protocols, but the news put out the story, and then when it came back as a false positive on the ship, nobody ever updated it.
Typical media baloney.
I saw people going off this morning, but it was
yeah.
confirmed by the cruise line that they did 2 negative tests the next day on the same person. Nobody else was sick.
A false positive.
Yeah. So it kind of sucks because it makes them look bad when
it does.
You
it ends
never
up being
get
false positive.
The retraction story is never as big as the initial shocking.
Yeah.
The journalism of omission.
Thank you, Suits.
You're welcome,
Now, my question, because you have had the vid and you should have the antibodies, if you did a test, came back with the antibodies, and Royal Caribbean was doing a COVID cruise where all you had to do was show that you had the antibodies, but it was only a quarter of the cost, would you get on that boat? And it's people that have all had coronavirus already.
And a lot of them are horny.
Yeah, I probably would get on
But
the
they're
ship.
all dudes.
Never mind. I'll wait.
All dudes.
I'll pay full price.
They are super horny.
They are ripe. I mean, for the picking.
That turned quick.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
He was so happy and then so sad.
Do you hear how he answers? Like, yeah. Oh my god.
I'm like, this is getting better by the minute.
Let's go.
Never mind.
Not sure how this is going to go over. The country of Russia per capita consumes the 4th most amount of alcohol on planet Earth. And now Russian authorities are telling the people and their citizens who get the vaccine there that they shouldn't drink any booze for 2 months before and after. So you'll have to give up the vodka for 4 months in Russia to get the vaccine.
Is that real? Or are they just telling them that? Are you really supposed to not drink before and after you get the vaccine?
Well, that's what they're telling them there, and apparently it's not the same everywhere. As far as we know, there aren't any restrictions like that with the vaccines that we're going to be getting.
Yeah, I hadn't
from
heard
Pfizer and Moderna.
that.
The people that love the vodka, like really love the vodka, they'll risk COVID. They'll not.
And they'll just power through it. They'll probably lie about their vodka intake and just get the vaccine anyway.
Yeah, you know how it is. When someone loves something,
Yeah.
they'll do what they got to do to get it.
Yeah, I think a lot of times they drink the vodka like it's water.
Yeah, at least according to the movies. I always see Russian people drinking vodka out of the bottle. They're still going on with their day.
The Queen's Gambit, they had that. She's in Russia, and there's this little kid pushing a cart. It looks like he's got a water bottle. He's like, vodka? And
she's like, yeah, I'll take some.
I'm like, oh, wow, they must just drink the vodka like the water.
I ain't got that kind of strength, y'all.
No, that's a ballsy move.
Don't know if you knew this, but astronauts routinely smuggle booze into space. That's according to a NASA astronaut, Clayton Anderson. He said that NASA is going to tell you there's no alcohol aboard the International Space Station, but as a person who lived there for 5 months, I'll tell you that's bogus.
Really?
I don't know if I want my astronauts getting hammered in space. They should be focused on stars and...
Well, what happens if you get all hammered and start pressing the wrong buttons?
Yeah, space party!
Or you accidentally dislodge your vessel from the mothership.
And you know if they're bringing up booze, somebody snuck up some weed. You know that happened.
You think the light switch says eject?
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't want my astronauts getting hammered.
But that being said, I bet you vodka and Tang goes good.
Ooh, I get why you would want to get hammered in space. I get it.
According to a book, Russian astronauts smuggle bottles of cognac and hollowed out books, or they will fill up plastic meal containers with booze and mislabel them as juice.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I want my astronauts focused. I do.
I mean, if they can't go to space without booze, you think they're going to wait 4 months on a vaccine?
No way. Yeah, if the astronauts can't do it.
Yeah. I could see this happening. Boy, that Chick-fil-A at Palm Beach Lakes, man, they used to have some traffic issues there before they put in the double drive-thru. And there's now a liquor store owner in Ohio that is suing Chick-fil-A because their long drive-thru line is always clogging up the parking lot and blocking traffic to his business.
I can totally see that too. Every time you go to the Chick-fil-A, it is great. Now, they move you fast.
Yeah.
They're on it. But it's a lot of action that would block anybody else's business.
You're seeing a lot of these fast food restaurants do that double kind of order. Am I the only one that was a little confused when you were first presented with that driving up? Like, do I go right? Do I merge? Do I...
No, I got the concept pretty quick.
Well, aren't you just a brainiac? Aren't you just super smart?
Oh my God, they don't want the line to be as long. This is great. They're smart.
It's nice to work with Einstein.
Police in Pembroke Pines responded to a call that they thought was an armed break-in at a men's clothing store Tuesday morning. People were spotted storming in with rifles.
Oh, my.
But when the officers arrived, they found out it was just a music video shoot.
That's happened a lot recently.
It has.
People are doing rogue videos and rogue movies.
You saw the guy that got on top of the New York City bus with the flamethrower?
Oh, my gosh. No, I missed that.
Oh, that was crazy. He's spraying a flamethrower and people are like, whoa, it is a music video. I mean, they're getting out of control.
Or if you're committing a crime and people, hey, what's going on? Oh, we're just doing a video.
Music video.
Music video. We're not robbing a bank.
Yeah, if you want to rob a bank, get a bunch of video guys
That could
with no
work.
film in the camera to stand there and be props.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then we got the plan.
Yeah, it's coming together, Kevin.
Okay, you got it down, huh?
Too bad we said it on the radio.
Would you have python boiled up with your eggs in the morning?
No.
Not gonna eat python?
Snake meat? I'm a pass.
Wildlife officials here in Florida are trying to get residents to eat pythons to give another reason why we're going out and hunting them. They're trying to get rid of the invasive species, and they're trying to convince people that it tastes good. But I heard it's rubbery, chewy, that you really got to boil it, cook it the right way to even have it taste something like pork.
You could put it on pizza called the python or the pizza python.
Oh, pizza python.
Pizza python.
Pizza python. Hello?
Is this
I
thing
like
on?
it. I like
Come
it.
on, food comedy? It's food comedy.
They say another problem, other than just the taste, is there's high levels of mercury in the Everglades.
Oh, damn.
And if the pythons are eating their animals from the Everglades, they're going to have a higher limit of mercury. So
How many more reasons are going to give us to not eat python?
yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Oh my God.
I'm good.
And it's creepy to eat snake.
Yeah.
It just feels weird.
How about this? Some rats have been battling with coworkers at a Chipotle in New York City.
What?
Apparently, the rats got a taste for the avocados, and they found them to be oh so delicious. And now they won't stop coming back, and they've even bitten 4 of the workers there trying to get at the avocados.
I've always heard New York rats are just a little bit different.
But you expect better from a Chipotle.
Yeah, I'm like, do they not have health code violations if you got rats running all over the place over
They
the avocados?
should.
You expect better from them, but I expect that from the New York rats. That's how they handle it.
They're just like, forget about it.
Forget about
We're
it.
coming in, we're taking your guac.
We run this town.
Okay. You buying or selling on this? Couple new food items. Key lime pie Kit Kats are coming in April of next year.
I should like that. It does not tickle my fancy.
Okay.
I do love some key lime pie, though.
I love both of them.
Oh, it's such a good pie.
I would have gone different flavor. I don't know.
Are you buying this? New Reese's peanut butter cups with a layer of marshmallow cream on top.
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
That's the sound that lets you know he's going.
I think we have to go to commercial. He messed himself.
That was good. That's a good one.
Okay.
You got a
Clearly he's
marshmallow
buying
cream,
that.
you said?
I got excited.
Coming up here, we got some random questions for you, including what is something that's not right about your body, but not serious enough to go to a doctor about?
You got about 30, at least 40 minutes?
All the time you need, Virginia, coming up next. Okay, got a couple random questions here. What's something that's not right about your body, but not serious enough to go to a doctor about?
You're talking like physically, like an insecurity, or just like a medical thing?
Could be. For instance, I'll give you an example. I got this sty on my eye. I've had it for like 15 years, and I even went probably a year and a half ago to somebody to go in and do it, and they gave me the cost of what they have to do and cut it. And I'm like, I passed.
Does it bother you? Can you see it when you're looking out?
I don't see it. It's noticeable, and it makes you look like you're tired, and people are like, you got something on your eye? I'm like, yeah, it's a sty.
Don't you love that when people point out? People do that. I have a cleft chin. They go,
Yeah.
do you know you have a butt chin? No, 43 years on this planet. And you, the person in Publix, just pointed that out to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
It's so weird when people do that.
Yeah, I've had it looked at, and you're like, oh, it hasn't grown. It's staying the same. It's not doing anything wrong by me, and I don't really want to pay the money, and I don't want anybody cutting around my eyeball.
Now I understand what you mean. Yes, I've got a clicky thing in my knee.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I did those moves at Blue Martini?
Do I?
When I jump straight up and then land on my
your
knees?
knee.
Well, I
Oh,
developed a second, like a mini knee, a miniature knee.
Not mini me, but mini
It's
knee.
mini knee.
Okay.
It's got fluid in there. It's quite painful. It makes a clicking sound, but I don't have the heart to go get it looked at. I should.
Yeah.
But it's
You know what they do usually? They stick a needle in it and drain it.
It's been so long. It's just developed into. I have 3 knees now, and I've accepted that.
That's usually, I think, what it is, where you've got something, but you look at either the cost or the pain, and you just say, what is it really worth? I mean, is it that big of a deal?
I'd rather just come in here and complain to you guys about it. Yeah, it's cheaper. It's freeing.
Right. No, you're absolutely right about that. Do you have anything, Virginia, or are you just made perfect?
Oh, no, I've got tons of stuff. My right earlobe, the earrings are pulling, so it's almost pulled all the way through. Ugh. And if it pulls all the way through and rips, it's going to be a whole thing. I'm going to have to. I could go now and preventatively get it taken care of and sewn and fixed and all that, but I'm just kind of like,
Not going to deal with it.
It's just. It's a to-do.
It is a to-do. You're right. I think we all got a to-do.
You got to look at it and go, 2020 to-do. No thanks.
I don't want it bad enough.
I don't want it bad enough. I want 3 knees instead.
What is a personality trait that you hate about yourself? What would you say that is? Personality trait that you hate. One is my struggles to focus. That is really annoying. I got to really do it. It's very mentally exhausting to try to do that. I hate that. And I do have a bit of a temper that I hate. It's like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Always laying down. So
Yeah.
I always try to remain in a calm, mellow state.
He hits us a lot.
We block it out, but when we saw him choke slam Suits, it was.
Can you imagine me choke slamming?
You might kill
You
him.
would break him. You would literally break him in half.
You'd see Suits just crumble to his death.
Yeah, we got to get him through Hanukkah, so can't do it now. Virginia, do you have something, a personality trait that you hate about yourself?
Oh, like 18.
Okay.
Yeah, like
you only have to share one.
I talk too much. I'm too loud. It's always about me. Yeah. I'm self-aware, but I'm obnoxious.
Okay, all right. Self-aware but obnoxious. What about you, Bird?
No, I'm good. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm perfect.
I'm just kidding.
Love myself.
Much like Virginia, I've got a long laundry list of things. I struggle with patience sometimes. You know that. I mean, my anxiety issues.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, if I keep going, it's gonna make me feel depressed. So
You only need
Nothing
one.
wor-
One's good.
Nothing worse than a guy in an elf costume crying about his deficiencies.
we don't want a
Yeah.
sad elf in this piece.
No.
You're
Not
right.
this close to Christmas.
You're right. People in costumes crying. It ain't a good look.
When you put on the jacket, you have to smile.
There's a code.
Yes.
What is the most terrifying moment of your life?
Oh, boy.
Mine, one time, I went through a moment. I was in a bad part of town. It was completely pitch black outside. I just wasn't thinking about things. I was standing there. 1 minute, I'm having a conversation with a friend. Next minute, I know there is a guy with a ski mask and a gun pointing at my face and tells me that I'm going to MF and die. And it was terrifying, Jay.
Because you really thought you were gonna die.
Yes.
And there's no cameras
he said I
around.
was
This is
going
real
to die.
life. This is
He
real
said
life.
I was going to die. Yeah. And so I slid down the door with the gun pointed at my face. I was like, ugh, just trying to block, like, what is my hand going to do in front of a bullet? Thankfully, I found out it was only our intern and it was a prank.
From who did the prank?
Virginia.
But clearly she had the cameras rolling because that's a big time kind of a prank.
No, there was no cameras.
It was on the fly.
Oh, just for the love of the game?
Just for, hey, welcome to Tuesday.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You have issues.
It was a Friday. It's how I kicked off my weekend.
Oh, okay. Virginia got the weekend going with a mock execution.
I mean, that changes a man.
It did. Yeah, I'd say to this day, probably still my most terrifying moment in life.
You win.
Okay, it's pretty good. What about you, Virginia? Most terrifying moment?
Oh man, most terrifying moment. I was in a car accident, and so the truck we were in, it was like a Ford Explorer. It flipped over and it went up onto the side of like the guard thing. But this is like over Lake Worth. You know that part of 95 that's like elevated?
Yep.
The water towers right
Yeah,
there.
right. You go to the bridges.
Like the cop said if we would have gone like one more foot up on this guard thing, it wasn't as high. I noticed driving there now, it's much higher now. It didn't used to be that high.
Okay.
This is like, 18 years ago.
Before they redid the bridge.
Before they redid the bridge, exactly. The cop was like, if you would have gone one more like foot higher, y'all would have been over the side of this bridge and dead.
I think for a lot of people, car moments are that because it just in a second. I've had a lot of those really brief where you think you're about to get in a horrific crash.
Yeah, I mean that's clearly mine. I was on a 7-car pileup on I-95, and it's the same exact spot Virginia's talking about. That's where
That Lake Worth Bridge area?
right, that whole area. It's so dark in that area. At least it was. It's so dark there. The lights aren't working there half the time.
Well, it's Lake Worth, they're power and electric. It's never on.
It's a different grid.
Yeah, so it's very dangerous because, they never have electricity ever in Lake Worth. So
Well, it was so dark. A truck had stalled out in the left-hand lane, and it was raining, and you could not see the truck until you got up on it. I hydroplaned into the truck that was stalled out, did a 360 to the middle lane. I look at my girlfriend at the time and go, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah, I think so." And as soon as I said that, another car didn't see us, drove through the car, spun us again, then another car hit us.
Damn.
And the same thing the cops say. I think all cops have to say that in an accident. "Oh, you could have been dead if one more inch here and blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
You don't know how lucky you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like they just tell that to everybody.
I feel like they do too.
Yeah.
Well, not the dead ones.
Yeah, but my seatbelt got jammed in the parking lot, and it was
Mine
really
got jammed too.
It really wasn't working, and I almost drove out of the parking lot that night without putting it in there. And I just said, for whatever reason, I go, "Dude, fix the seatbelt."
Wow.
I don't know if I'd be here, dog.
Dude, fix the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Okay. And final random question. What is the weirdest rule your parents made you follow as a kid? I know one of mine. I wasn't allowed to watch this dance show that was on Saturday mornings called Solid Gold because the Solid Gold dancers were a little too provocative. So that was a weird rule, like never. And even as I got older, like it's still Solid Gold. I think to this day, my mom would ground me if I watched Solid Gold. So still a Ralston family rule, no Solid Gold here. Virginia, did you have a weird rule that you had to follow as a kid?
Yeah, Linda wouldn't let me watch The Facts of Life because she thought it was about the facts of life.
Yeah.
Okay.
She thought it was about the birds and the bees and breaking it down, and here's what sex is about.
Oh, boy.
And so I wasn't allowed to watch The Facts of Life, which was actually a very benign show.
Very benign, unless you're talking about the episode where Natalie lost her virginity to Snake.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
When Snake asks, you give.
Yes. That's Snake.
They did make Snake kind of sleazy.
Bird, you got a weird rule?
Oh my gosh, we had a lot of weird rules. We weren't allowed to answer the door.
You're going to be here a
We
while.
weren't allowed in the front yard. We could not drink the milk. If you drank the milk, oh my gosh, you would go in there to try to get some milk, and then you'd hear either Ann or my mom walking in the kitchen. So you throw the milk back in the refrigerator and run and act like you're eating something else. I mean, if you drank the milk, you were in trouble.
Who got to drink the milk?
Mom and Ann. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hierarchy.
Big time.
Well, weird families have weird rules. Do you have one to share? You can get a hold of us, 877-979-WRMF. Hit us up with your own responses here on the KVJ Show.
You're listening to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Well, if you got a weird family, you probably also have weird holiday rituals that you do every single year. Things that are a little bit off, not standard to what everybody else does. Did your weird family ever have any kind of weird family rituals that they did that you think no other family did, Virginia?
I mean, yeah, we had weird stuff. But when you're little, though, that's the thing. You don't realize it's weird.
Yeah.
You just think it's like normal. I mean, we always had the jankiest toilet in the game. There was always some kind of rigging and a bread twist tie holding something together inside the tank. I learned so much about toilet mechanics from growing up a poor kid.
Was there anything around the holidays, Jaybird, that your family did that was a little bit off?
Funny enough, we would celebrate Halloween, but not in October. We'd do dress up stuff. We would do all that kind of have candy like a Halloween, but do it say in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was very fun.
That is an interesting
and then
ritual.
During Christmas, I've never had in my life a Christmas morning where I've opened up presents. I've always opened them up on Christmas Eve. Or like midnight going into Christmas Day. We always open stuff on that night.
Yeah, I think people have different rituals about how they might open up presents. What was weird in the rituals with my family was just my family's never been good at gift giving. Just terrible. I mean, I just remember I was probably 14 years old, just becoming a man, hitting puberty, started to get some of that stubble. Virginia, in fact, it's not even stubble. When you're 14, you get those weird oblong hairs that just come shooting out of your face.
It's a cat whisker.
Yeah, I was getting cat whiskers. And my grandfather had passed a year or two before, and so my grandmother gave me a box of his old razors, which seems nice. But unfortunately, these are all used razors, and some of them still had his stubble in it.
So Grandpa's still with you.
Yeah.
He's kind of helping you learn the ropes of shaving.
To some extent, I guess it was cute and sweet, but at the same time, it was kind of bizarre.
And gross.
Yeah, and gross, yes. And then I remember she gave me a half bottle of his already used mouthwash. It was called Cepacol, and I remember twisting the cap off, and it was that crusty type. You could tell the old, where the Cepacol is supposed to be kind of a bright green, but it was now kind of almost a little brownish.
Yeah, you see that crust. It's very prevalent in the mustard world.
Yeah.
The crust
kind of
part.
had that. You
Yeah.
don't want that on your mouthwash. So yeah, gift giving itself was a weird holiday ritual. If you've got one you'd like to share, hit us up 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. One thing that I think is rather unique, I don't know if it's necessarily a weird holiday ritual as it is just a weird holiday gift list that Virginia's son Rocco has every single year. He's not asking what a standard 4 or 5-year-old boy asks for. He's got things like a Roomba and vacuums and
Yeah, last year he wanted a Ring doorbell and a robot vacuum cleaner, and I was like, those are kind of gifts for the house that are awesome that I would love to have. So yeah, instead of buying a bunch of stupid Legos, I got to get him a Ring doorbell, but it was kind of for me too.
Yeah, trick him. Do it. He's young enough to trick him.
I mean, he's like helping out the family, I think.
But when I say trick him, act like, oh yeah, this is great. Don't act like you really need it, so he doesn't take away from his excitement.
Right.
So here is Rocco's Christmas list for 2020.
I need to find out what you want for Christmas this year. I was going to send this list to Santa, so do you know what you would like for Christmas?
Wait, do you know his number?
Yeah.
You have him in your contacts?
I do.
Wait, so when you're done texting those to him, may I tap the send button to him?
Sure.
And you know what?
What?
Sometime I can add him to my contacts, so one day when he's not busy, I can call him or text him.
I can't share his contact information with you because you'll call him and text him all the time. And he's busy. You know, he's making toys right now in the North Pole. Him and the elves are working OT, overtime. All right, so what would you like for Christmas this year so I can send this to Santa?
Yep, I want a computer with Touch ID, a garage door opener that I can control from my phone, and an automatic music player. And when you just walk by to the music player, it'll just start playing music.
Oh, like that Google Nest?
Yep.
Interesting.
Like you ask Google to play some music like this. Hey Google, play some music, and then she'll fire up some music.
But you already have an Alexa.
Yeah, but I also want Google. Because she goes like doodle, so that way she knows so that way you know when to talk.
All right, anything else?
Yes, and hanged up camera
Okay.
in my room so I can see my room if anybody's in it.
You want a security system in your room with video cameras?
Like only 2 video cameras.
Oh, just 2, okay.
Hanged up in my room and a little monitor where I can see.
All right.
And then there's also this little music button on the monitor. When you tap that, it makes a chime, and you can also talk to people and say, hey, what are you doing?
All right, is that it?
Yep.
Do you have to go pee-pee?
Yes.
You're doing the pee-pee dance.
Yes, that's why I had to go pee-pee.
And you're holding your penis. You gotta go?
Mom, quick.
Okay, let's go.
There you go. Sweet, adorable Rocco.
He's got such a great voice.
Yeah, he does.
Clearly, he got that from Panda.
He will break it down for you. Yes, he has Panda's thought process. Very technical.
Somebody texted in said my 7-year-old asked for a treadmill.
Kind of fun, though. I get it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is good. So people text in some of the other strange things happening around the holidays. Maybe some of these are rituals. Somebody texted in and said, yeah, I left Santa beer and cookies when I was little. Beer? Wait. That's what my dad told me. He said Santa liked beer. But every single Christmas morning, the beer was gone.
Well, beer is way better to leave for Santa than milk. Can I get an amen?
But here's the thing: what Santa does, he takes that beer and he puts it in the sleigh and he drinks it when he gets down back
I was going
to
to say,
the
because
North
he's
Pole.
got to drive a sleigh. He can't be knocking it down that night.
He's not driving. The reindeer are driving. It's like a Tesla.
He's in control of the vehicle, Virginia.
And I think Rudolph likes to party. I think
he's definitely an alcoholic. He's got a red nose.
I think he also likes the booger sugar.
That's why it's glowing.
That's why that goes so fast.
Yeah, pure.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
They got to start off in South Florida. Got another text here said, we are always full, but every single Christmas we go to Denny's at like 12 a.m. It's a weird group in there if you've never been, and pretty fun to watch, but just an odd tradition we have with my family.
And you don't even have to have it be at Christmas time. If you go to Denny's at 12 a.m. at any night, it's going to be a weird crowd.
Yeah, we used to do that. The one on Okeechobee, we go there a lot, late night, early morning kind of thing, and then I think there was like a shooting or something, so we stopped. But,
oh boy!
Yeah,
I got a little too froggy.
I was almost the part of a knifing, but that's a story for another time.
It's exciting though, right? It's
Yeah,
exciting.
It was pretty exciting.
It was a butter knife.
Yeah, I think it was, to be quite honest with you.
Another weird ritual here. Ever since we were kids, all my siblings and I have slept in the same room on Christmas Eve.
Aww.
Now, originally it was a lot of fun and a good way for my parents to keep track of us all and make sure that we were asleep. And we still do it now, even though the youngest of us is in college and I've got a baby.
Oh, that's adorable.
That is kind of cute. So they all cram into one room.
That's sweet.
Very cute stuff. All right, coming up here in a couple minutes, we'll check in with the voting that has been going on during the KVJ show today to find out who won our KVJ draft today from Netflix original programming. We'll see who finished up on top next.
Look at you listening to the KVJ show on 97.9 WRMF. Lucky.
Last night, I finally wrapped up the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. It's basically Rocky with chess. Thought it was very good. 7 episodes. That's about how I like it. We started last weekend. We watched a lot of it. We knocked out an episode last night, one the night before, because they're 40 minutes to an hour long, so you could do one in a night, you know, and kind of keep it going. And it looks like it's probably going to be a one-off season type thing. I actually love those. There are a lot of shows, like, for instance, Shameless, like 10 seasons. It's just too big for me, Virginia. I'm having a hard time getting into it.
I totally agree with you because when you look at it in the beginning, it's a mountain.
Yes.
And haven't you climbed enough mountains this year? You want to climb a hill. You want to climb a little ant hill. You don't want a mountain in front of you right now.
I like short little stories. And
right.
I kind of get tired of certain families and characters after a while. It's like, okay, I get it. I've seen enough of them.
The lead character of the Queen's Gambit, especially when she's young, certainly has the most fascinated, quirky look about her. I love her
It's
look.
captivating. They did it in a very good way.
Yes.
I'm sure that film students would look at that and say that it was done well.
Is it... I know you don't look at this kind of stuff, but like, are the costumes and stuff amazing?
Oddly enough, I did look at it. Her fashion sense is amazing. And I did comment to my wife, I'm like, wow, it's really kind of interesting that this girl, it's a character. She's set in Kentucky. And she's an orphan. And that's not a spoiler, but yeah, that she has the amazing fashion sense.
I love when the costumes are on point in a movie. I just love it.
I thought the music was great. And I realized I actually like mid to late 60s music, but I hate the 50s music.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. It sounds more like James Bondy, kind of trippy. It actually sounds a lot like some alternative today.
You hate doo-wop, but you love the drug music.
I guess that's kind of it, yeah. I guess that's maybe how you would put it, but I loved a lot of the music that was in it. It was stuff from the 60s. I'm like, this is actually a really good soundtrack,
You
too.
sold me on it. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, let me know what you think.
Oh, you'll watch what Kevin suggests.
There's a lot of people suggest
Cobra Kai. I don't know if it's my thing.
Usual Suspects, sucker. I've been telling you this for a long time. Is it on Netflix? No, it's not on Netflix.
I don't even have to say it. I just look at him and he knows.
I can buy it for you on YouTube.
All right, then buy it. That'd be my Christmas gift.
$3.99.
I'm not doing anything this holiday. We're staying home, even though we're taking a little break. I'm not vacationing.
Okay.
I'm staying home so I could totally watch The Usual Suspects.
So if you're going to be doing that, we got some suggestions here. Our KVJ draft was Netflix original programming. And that includes TV shows, movies, documentaries, and we were even very clear to say It includes shows that Netflix now produces because there are a few that start on another network that they picked up and they now produce. So we were counting those, but there were about 8 people on Twitter that still wanted to fight about it today. So you can't, you're disqualified. That's not that didn't. I'm like.
Kevin said.
How many times did I say that?
They tuned in late. They were giving Sweet Denny's an earful. They were calling in, giving them a hard time.
They didn't still even like that explanation. Like, that can't count. And I'm like, well, they're producing it now.
Well, they come back with, it's my game.
Yes. That's basically it.
I'm Kevin Ralston.
We made the rules. We all agreed to it, so those counted. And I actually think that it might have cost me because Jaybird took Ozark and blocked me on that because that would have been my number 1 pick. So I took Cobra Kai to block him. That started on YouTube and now Netflix produces it. And I think people couldn't get over the fact that, well, that's not a Netflix show. Well, yes, it is a Netflix show because it's now produced by Netflix. And I think it cost me. I did not win today, and I think it might have been because of Cobra Kai.
Your side war did you in?
Yeah.
Blocked by the bird. I don't play to win. I play just to annoy you.
Denny's chose Arrested Development, which just like the final season or 2, whatever it was done by Netflix, and it originally started on Fox. And I think that might have cost him too. People just couldn't get over it. Be like, wait, that's not a Netflix original.
Well, that's the thing about this bit. You're kind of playing to the audience's opinion.
Yeah, now I did okay. The people who did not was Jaybird. He finished dead last again.
We knew this. 3 votes.
He picked Ozark, which was great, but then he went with Selena the series and Too Hot to Handle.
I'm ahead of my time. If I would have done Selena 2 months from now, I might have won this tournament.
Chloe from Too Hot to Handle, maybe one of my favorite reality television stars ever.
Too Hot to Handle was the exact kind of programming I needed at the exact point in my life. It was just mindless crap.
Danny's wound up being next to last, and he went with The Queen's Gambit, Arrested Development, and The Great British Baking Show. So I assume maybe the baking show really took him out?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, that seemed to cost him.
Although a lot of people love that British Bake Off, Kev. It's really good.
It is good.
Well, I wasn't going to go with The Queen's Gambit because I don't think it's got that kind of saturation yet. I think
it don't have the heat?
Yeah, I don't think it kind of has that heat. I didn't think it was going to be a winner. I finished in 3rd place with Cobra Kai, Tiger King, and The Umbrella Academy. And I think maybe the Cobra Kai cost me a bit. I think also Tiger King. It's kind of polarizing. That's a love-hate kind of show.
It is polarizing. I loved it, but a lot of people get mad at me on social media for loving it.
Yeah, I think that cost me. Now, finishing in 2nd place.
Just say it's not The Witch.
With Narcos, Outer Banks, and House of Cards, it is Virginia. She finished 2nd.
Gosh, man, you're too good at this game.
Not as good as Suits, though. Suits wins again. He had Stranger Things, Orange is the New Black, and Black Mirror.
Wow.
Those are all heavy hitters.
Yeah.
I think this is Soups and the Witch's game. They're always in the top 2.
We all keep finishing in the same place. Yeah. I'm 3rd, and Jaybird, you're terrible
I'm
at this.
last a lot.
Yeah.
I choke.
Okay. All right, Bird, about to wrap it up here with our thought for the day. What you got for us, Jaybird?
I have got... Oh, man.
You got what? What's all man?
Something happened with my computer.
Again?
You wouldn't believe it.
I think it's sabotage. It's certainly not operator error.
No.
It's got to be sabotage.
When you do what you fear that's not good. Oh, okay, I like this one.
Okay. Can't wait.
The most wasted of all days is one without laughter. Make sure laughter is in your heart. And that's it.
I agree with that one.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There it is. Call your loved
You give
ones.
us lots of laughter.
Yeah.
Is that it? We're stopping with that?
Oh, the music ran out. I think we, by law, have to go.
Oof. Oof.
It's been a rough week. It's almost the end of the year. Give me a break.
You got to do one more. One more.
Your decision-making skills are on point. You're listening to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.